Today in r/malicious compliance. You want to show me how to park my car. Have fun handling a car that does not beta you. First post on Reddit. I am not a native English speaker, so please excuse any spelling or grammar mistakes as well as any odd word choices. Names have been changed. Back in secondary school, I, then 18, went to a friend's 18th birthday party. The plan was to have cake and give presents at the birthday girl's home, then drive into the city center for a meal, followed by drinks in a bar. Since I did not live close by, I would drive there and back home afterwards in my car either way, so I volunteered to be one of the drivers for the night. The two other people that would drive the party guests around were a family member of the birthday girl, as well as a guy I'll call Peter. Peter was the boyfriend of Emmy, a girl in the same friends group as me and birthday girl. Our group had the rule that, unless something was explicitly labeled as a girl's day, all invitations included our respective romantic partners as of one. From what I could tell, Peter was not close to anyone in our group other than Annie, but they only ever showed up together. I am not kidding. Annie once refused an invitation to my birthday party because Peter would be busy with his studies that night. I never got along great with Peter, but I always acted civil and polite around him. Birthday girl lived in a part of town I had never been to before. While driving from her place to the restaurants, we drove through a stretch of road that had several hard-to-see curves, with several intersections and traffic lights and several lines of road in each direction. The road is crowded with cars that drove at the speed limit. I did try not to drive too slow, as not to block traffic, but I had to drive a little below speed limit. When we reach the restaurant, Peter pulls me aside. Peter, you do know that you can cause accidents by driving too slow, don't you? Me annoyed, since I am experienced driver, and he has no reason to lecture me. Yes, I know, but I never drove on that road before, so I could not go full speed while navigating safely in that traffic. Also, I am not sure that driving between 40 and 45 km in a 50 km/h zone can be actually considered too slow. He sneers and leaves to join Emmy at the tables. Later, we drove to a different part of town for drinks. Mine was the last car to enter the parking lot, so the other cars had already parked by the time I found an empty spot. Now, there is something you should know about my car. It was a solid working car, but a bit on the older side. It drove well, but was missing some amenities newer cars had. Most annoyingly, it did not have hydraulic power steering. As a result, it was very hard to adjust the wheels while that car was standing still. It was possible, but did require some elbow grease. I was used to it and could move the steering wheel while standing with little problem, but I had also adjusted the way I drove to make it possible to do most adjusting while the car is still moving. Among other things, I was very careful while parking, as correcting the car's position meant parking required wheel adjustment while standing still. I was letting my car roll slowly into the right position to get into the parking spot in one move. Just before I got to the spot where I had to start turning the steering wheel to get the right angle without having to stop, Peter left the group waiting for us and walked over to my car. I lowered my window. Peter, in the most condescending tone I have ever heard, "How about I help you out and park that car for you?" Oh. I was just about to explain to him just what I thought about condescending assholes like him when my eyes fell on his car. His brand new car his parents bought him when he got his license. His nice car with all the amenities you could imagine. The malicious compliance. I let my car roll up further to the exact spot where the wheels had been fully adjusted in order for the car to fit into the spot. Then I shut off the motor, smiled and said, "You know what? That sounds like a wonderful idea," and exited my car. He took my keys, started the motor, grabbed the steering wheel, and suddenly froze. His face turned to me with a scared look in his eyes. "Peter, does your car not have power steering?" Me, with the biggest grin. "Nope. Now go on. Show me how to park my car." He had to adjust, while standing several times, until my car was finally in the spot. The friends in my car had a very hard time suppressing their laughter. He exited, handed me the keys, and did not even look at me for the rest of the night. I think I even saw him rubbing his upper arms in pain a couple of times. He never bothered me again. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, smash the bell, and whatever else our YouTube overlords require nowadays.